Hey, Nashville. Welcome back to the NFM Podcast. We are here in the Optimize You studio, and our sponsors today are B2 Wellness, Defiance Fuel, Best Water, and Navy. We are here with Liz Willers and Terry.
You didn't even introduce yourself. Hi, Abby.
Oh, and me. It's me, Abby.
It's me, Abby. Hi, guys.
Yeah. We are going to get all into the Goldfinch Foundation with Liz today. But before we do, we're going to do our basket of debates. And also, I meant to ask you, Terry, if there's anything new that everybody should know about, including myself, lately. Because we don't get you on the podcast often.
It's true.
So
it's true.
Now's your time.
Need to start coming on for
What's
quick
something
news.
And I feel special that you're here.
For quick news updates. Well, you may not after this one. We'll see.
Terry's always up to something fun. Share one thing with us that you've been up to.
We've been planning a Rise Up Nashville, which is an initiative to help end homelessness in Nashville, Tennessee. And that event is on November 20th. It's at Proclamation Church with Metro. We've got the Office of Homelessness for Metro Social Services. We've got WellPoint, several partners on this, and we're very excited about it. So, yeah, November 20th.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one good thing.
Yeah, it's a lot.
That sounds like planning, a lot. Yeah.
But yeah.
Nice. Sweet.
Very excited about it.
Yeah, I can't wait to hear more about that after the episode.
Yes.
Okay, so let's do our debate. Why don't you start, Terry?
Oh, me? Okay,
yeah,
sure.
Opposite.
Okay. We already picked. I swear we didn't read these. It feels pretty suspicious because the basket is sitting right there and it hasn't moved. Recovery tools and methods. Are foam rollers, massage guns, cryotherapy scientifically effective, or mostly placebo-driven trends?
Oh, who knows?
That's a deep one. Well, I foam roll and I use massage gun. I don't do cryo very much, but some of these things are no-brainers, right? Like between foam rolling and massage guns, we know that if you can bring circulation, we can bring blood flow to anywhere in the body, you can heal anything, right? The life of the flesh is in the blood. So if we can move blood around, then we can bring nutrients. If we can bring nutrients, we can heal. So why wouldn't increased circulation be a good thing? And you're going to get that with foam rolling and massage gun use. So that to me is a no-brainer. And then obviously cold reduces inflammation, and it also sparks your hormone response. So I'm going to say none of these are placebo-driven, in my opinion. So
okay.
Mic drop.
He's like,
anybody want to argue?
Nobody's going to argue. What do you think, Liz?
About his question or mine?
His. We're all going to respond to each other.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I think I agree with you about the blood flow. And I think sometimes the same concepts come around in different forms. And I hate to be cynical, but sometimes it's about, how can we make money off of a standard concept?
Certainly trendy. Certainly trendy.
So I think the idea behind, massage therapy, foam rolling, and I think cryotherapy is interesting. I think some of the jury's still out for me, but to be honest, I don't know about placebo, but I think sometimes placebo is okay if it was working for you.
Yeah, it's
and
true.
There's not data behind it, then why not continue it if it's not?
That's
helpful?
a great point.
So,
yeah. I love that point. I think, I don't know. I mean, like the massage gun, sometimes I'm like, I feel like it's just numbing the area, but if it's bringing blood flow, then it's doing something.
Yeah.
Foam rolling for sure. In my opinion, and own experience makes a difference. I don't even know what all was listed on that. I forgot everything.
Cryo was the only thing.
I think I'm with both of you guys on all the things you said.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What's yours?
Supplements versus whole foods. Should athletes depend on protein powders, creatine, and pre-workouts, or focus solely on nutrient-dense whole foods? Well, it specified athletes. I don't think anyone should depend on supplements. I think they should focus, not solely, but focus on nutrient-dense whole foods. Everybody should. But for an athlete, someone who has really high activity, I think supplements can be great for them and needed to make sure that they are fueled the way they need to be and getting the recovery that they need. because you only have so much time in the day. And so those can be a great tool.
I agree. I don't think there's a world where they need to be separate, mutually
Mm-hmm.
exclusive. I think they should be inclusive, and I think they should certainly be whole food based supplementation. Our bodies get enough crap
Mm-hmm.
and
Mhm.
fillers and chemicals. It'd be a lot better on our bodies would not have that in our supplements as well. And if you got time to eat enough of those nutrients, by all means, go after it. But the rest of us are going to have to supplement because we got to go to work. So
Yeah. And focusing on the quality of your supplements. Like, no, we can't know everything about every company and how
You can get
honest
pretty
they
close,
actually
though.
are.
I mean, you can get pretty
But
close.
yeah, you can find brands you trust at least and try
Can
to
I ask a
base on the
question? Is
quality.
it okay to like disagree with you guys?
100%.
Okay.
This is called a debate.
Come at us.
Love it. Okay. No, I don't disagree at all. I was just asking, but my thought would be, I think you made a good point of kind of focusing on athlete and then what type of athlete. So are they working out 3-4 hours a day, or are they just getting 45 minutes in before they go to work? And I personally believe that if I prefer, food to get nutrients, and once you max out what your tastes are, what you can tolerate, and like you said, I mean, are you gonna be eating all the time to get that?
Yeah.
Then the kind of the overflow would be into the supplement world.
Yeah.
That's and then I think creatine is really interesting too, from a scientific standpoint, with a lot of the
Yeah.
newer data looking at mental health and things. But
yeah.
jury's still out, of course. But I think that's kind of what my motto would be.
Yeah, that's good.
Balance, I
Yeah.
think, is the
Yes.
takeaway.
Yeah. Yeah, creatine is very I mean, it's we could talk more about it, but
Creatine is the Pilates of the supplement world right now.
Ooh.
See what I did there?
That's good.
Yeah,
I
that's
like
the-
that.
that's the
If you
next
listened
thing
to
that's-
last week's episode.
That's right.
Oh, is it out yet? Should I have listened to it by now? No.
Yes, you have.
Okay.
You listen to it. Remember.
Yeah. What's your question? Sarah?
Okay. My question is CrossFit safety and effectiveness. Is CrossFit an innovative approach to total body conditioning, or does its intensity lead to unnecessary injury risk? I will say, of course, always it depends. Going back to your balance point, that's kind of, to me, how I live my life. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
And so, I do high intensity workouts twice a week, but then I also do endurance and other things. So I think as long as you're cross training, decreasing risk of injury, stretching, all the usual stuff, I think it can be a really great workout. So, and wouldn't necessarily lead to unnecessary injury unless, you can't jump on that box.
Yeah, I think CrossFit catches shade nowadays
Yeah.
because of individuals who are trying to compete with one another.
Mhm.
I don't think that's fair to the brand as a whole. It's come so far.
Yeah.
Much like every modality in the beginning, it's going to be a little bit of everything all over the place. But CrossFit's been really great at building community and adjusting where they know they're weak. So I agree with you 100%.
Yeah. Well, CrossFit's a sport.
Right.
So when you combine heavy weightlifting, explosive moves in a competitive way, and you know how human beings are, like people will injure themselves because they're competitive.
Right.
But I don't think CrossFit in itself is even dangerous necessarily, as long as you are prepared for what you are going to do and smart about what you're about to do.
Yeah, it's like blaming your shoes for getting a sprained ankle when you're out for a 3-mile run. It's not exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. You got to know your limits and what
Right.
you're prepared to hopefully have a coach coaching you through that kind of stuff. But I think CrossFit's fun.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Good debate, guys.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
we all
Not too
agreed
much
on
dis-
pretty much.
yeah,
all
not
three
too much
times.
Yeah, we went after each other.
That was really killer. No, it was good. It was great.
Okay, Liz, well, tell us why you are here. We're here to talk about the Goldfinch Foundation. What is that? And tell us how it came to be.
So we are here because I met Terry looking at some real estate for a potential practice. I'm a physician, but I'm currently not in clinical practice right now. I lost my son, Owen, in June of 2024, so about 18 months ago. And I was telling Terry, had planned on transitioning to my own medical practice after being in pulmonary critical care for 25 years. But then when lost him suddenly, decided to pivot and start a nonprofit. And the nonprofit's to focus or kind of empower and enlighten young people about the importance of mental health and social connection to overall wellness. And so I basically applied for 501c3 2 months after he died. And since then, we've been rocking and rolling and gaining a lot of traction in Nashville. So that's just why I'm here. So thank you.
That's right.
Thanks
That's
for
right.
having me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of things that I want to know more about.
Yeah.
So you said it's a nonprofit. And you say your mission statement. I was reading your mission statement and I loved it.
Yeah.
Say that again.
So in general, everything in my life, especially after his death, has been about light and darkness. And so that's been just something that kind of, I just really respond to. And so I really wanted to shine the light in our mission statement, shine the light on the importance of mental health and social connection and empower young people to lead the change. And, and so our target audience is 14 to 29. But I always tell people this whole philosophy is like a one size fits all model. It's everything I've learned about wellness, taking care of patients in the past 25 years. But again, also learning a lot about, youth and a lot of the external pressures they're having and dealing with that people in my age range and probably you too, maybe not Ezra, but are dealing with. And that's unique to them in this particular world. And so I felt like they needed a leg up. So
what are some of the ways, how old is Owen?
Owen was 18 when he died.
Gotcha. And what are some of the ways that you are raising awareness?
So our 4 pillars are, community, creativity. So Owen was an artist, and there's a ton of data looking at, the creative arts, whether it's music, listening to it or creating it, art, appreciating it or creating it, theater and other things like that. So there's the one aspect or one pillar is creativity. The other pillar is mental wellness. So I think a lot of times a lot of mental health organizations I think appeal to people with mental illness. And so again, going back to my experience as in a physician's office, so many of us struggle without kind of having that mental illness. We don't want to be labeled as, I don't have anxiety or depression, but we all struggle. And so the mental wellness is the other pillar. And then education. So, we're in this world now where a lot of the knowledge that we get might be from somebody who has a great TikTok account or a great Instagram.
True,
but what are their qualifications? And right now it's like, give it to me fast. It's got to be interesting and entertaining. And so what I found is, again, people don't know where to look. We don't have Encyclopedia Britannica anymore. We have the internet, and you can find anything on the internet. So the knowledge or education part of it is bringing who I know are the trusted, solid, unbiased experts in the community, whether it's about mental health or physical health, and bringing them into kind of like settings like this, where you're just kind of hanging out around a couple couches, and so it doesn't feel real clinical. So the 4 pillars: education, creativity, mental wellness, community, and then everything is rooted in social connection. I think that's a really thing that we're losing a lot in today's world. And again, on a scientific basis, people who can have relationships and connect with people live longer, live healthier, live happier. And so really trying to kind of create an environment where that's really valued. No phones, but we don't say, put your phones away. It's like, you don't want to be on your phone because this is going to be so much fun. This is what we're doing.
Right.
And it's really, we've grown a lot. Right now I have a younger son, Charlie, who is a junior in high school, and Owen had a twin who's currently a sophomore in college. And so that's kind of been my demographic that I've been able to gain a lot of momentum with. But I think that, when young people are done with college between 22 and 29, they're supposed to figure everything out, and they feel lost, and no one's paying attention anymore. They're not on the parents' paycheck. And I think we're starting to slowly gain some interest in that demographic because they need this too. I mean, we all kind of need it. But it's been good. It's been a way of dealing with my grief and also helping people. And it's been good in his honor.
Whenever you said before you had always planned on maybe opening your own practice, how is what you are doing now different from what you had pictured that would look like?
That's a really good question. So So in pulmonary critical care, I worked in academics at a university hospital, and then went into private practice, and I saw a wide variety of things. And kind of like we were talking about before with balance, like I've always just been interested in a little bit of everything, you know? And so I've always been interested in fitness and health and nutrition. And so what I found is in seeing patients and wanting to give the inhaler, give the meds, schedule the surgery, I also wanted to find out, like, how are you losing this 50 pounds now? And let's talk about the different diet kind of, trends. And what has happened in healthcare now is that traditional physicians or providers don't get rewarded financially for providing that kind of service unless you're going to a concierge physician.
Right,
and that to me didn't seem right. And quite honestly, I just, I felt, especially the elderly, deserved better. I mean, these people, they work all their lives, they get Medicare, and some physician practices don't even take Medicare because you get paid, a quarter for what you'd see for a young person. And so I felt there's a lot of disparity, and where my skill set is really kind of taking care of the whole person. So I had planned on, and actually Owen, part of the reason, or not part of the reason, but the reason I wanted to speak with you is because he was kind of this muscly guy. Like, he was really super fit, very interested in, lifting and that kind of thing. And I was talking to my husband after I met you, and I was like, I don't know. I mean, and he's like, dude, Owen would totally be here with you. He would love this kind of, this magazine and everything, so that's a lot of the reason why I came here. But so going back to my practice, Owen was working on my logo. He's, like I said, he's an artist, so he's working on what logo it was going to be. He and I were going to go to get personal certification for personal training this summer. He died before he went to college because what I found is that he was training all these guys at his high school. And they're like, oh, Owen, what do I do with my, macros or whatever? Awesome. And I'm like, dude, you got to get to be certified. And if you are certified, then you can do this in college, and then you can do this for my patients. And so it feels like, although it feels different, and a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, what does the pulmonologist know about all these things? Like, this has always been in my wheelhouse, and it's always been part of the plan. It's just I had to pivot a little bit with the demographic, and also that creativity arm is really kind of a nod to Owen and all of his gifts and, in the art world. So,
I think it's such a powerful thing. Like, I don't know what your high school or your adolescent experience was like, but mine was I was in my head a lot about it. I like to say that I'm a practice extrovert. I'm very introverted in nature as far as recharging.
Yes.
The stuff that you deal with when you're a child, and I'm, in that age range that you described, is pivotal. It's like, it sets the stage. It is the foundation for how you interact as an adult. It's your jumping off point for whether a job that you're interviewing for feels like a good fit. It's also the thing you reflect on the most when you're thinking about why you are reacting a way that you do, even as a 46-year-old, right? It's wild how it can feel so far away, yet still feel so very, very close when it comes to navigating your own mental health as an actual adult.
For sure.
And a lot of those foundations were poured and then cracked and warped and, at that young age.
Absolutely. And I think now too, with the technology, what I've observed is if you have a negative feeling, or if you're insecure or not confident, what we do, I say we, they, whatever, is you want to distract yourself. I can't deal with this feeling.
100%.
And so maybe I'll get on my phone and do some scrolling instead of processing what you were saying. Why am I feeling like this? What can I do to make myself feel better? Instead, it's like, grab my phone, or grab a beer or take a shot. I can't deal with this. And so trying to kind of draw attention to, hey, by the way, you don't have to be journaling 45 minutes a day to really get to know yourself. But could we challenge each other to, hey, don't listen to the radio on the way to work or to school. Just think. And all of a sudden they're going to have more ideas about who I am as a person. What do I want to write about my college essay? And, when I started, I didn't know what I wanted to do with the Goldfinch. I just knew I wanted to do something after he died. And I started giving talks, because what happens in our community, and this is probably natural human response is everyone gossips. Well, I heard it was this, and I heard it was this, and I wanted to start. Well, if you want to know what happened, let's talk about it. I'm here to talk to you. And what I found is I gave talks to different demographics, and what was the most light bulb moment, was when I spoke with 200 kids at Fellowship of Christian Athletes.
Okay.
And it was a group that knew Owen, knew Izzy and Charlie, my other kids. And kids want to feel like they have answers. They want to feel like and I will say kids, me too. I like to have answers.
Sure.
I like to be in control of as much as I possibly can. And I think they responded so well to having solutions. Like, you mean that there's something I can do to get better. And it was like, oh, this is, and after that talk, I had a line of kids. And before I even knew what a teen ambassador was, I was like, if you want to be a teen ambassador, and then kids were like, yeah, sign me up, sign me up, sign me up. Tears in boys' faces. We have more male teen ambassadors than female. They want this. And so I thought, how can I not deliver what they need? And it took a little bit of time because, a lot of times people were like, well, what is Liz really telling her kids? Like, why isn't she talking to them? So slowly but surely I've learned that it really is a community thing. I mean, it's bring your parent next time you come to a meeting, or let's ask your grandmother to come to the art. So, because I want everybody to be a part of this, because if I talk to, we have a therapist talk to the kids, or I talk to the kids, and they go home and the mom or dad doesn't know what they're talking about, well, that's not continuity. You're not going to get change there. It's being able to kind of have an open dialogue of this. We can't fix everything, but we can at least try to develop some positive coping skills to give it our best shot.
Man, what you said about boys coming like that, what you're doing is you're helping boys develop. From spectators of their life to leaders. And that is powerful. And what they don't realize they're doing is holding all that stuff back in. Because we're dudes.
Well, and what happens is and I don't
just stack stuff on top of it.
Usually in these meetings, it takes one person. And it's like dominoes. It takes one person to be like, and not like I set out to make our group of ambassadors like the cool kids or the popular kids, but organically, what was so unique, I think, about Owen was that he looked like he had everything together on the outside. We all try to portray that. Like, I mean, it's not like unique to teenagers. We all try to be like, I got it all together. I got nothing, no problems at all. And what I've attracted, which we've attracted rather, are those kids that you think that they have it all together, and they don't, and they need a safe space to say, I struggle with this. Do you? No. Do you? What do we? And it's like, again, it's like this domino effect where you create this idea that there's strength and vulnerability rather than a weakness. And I think a lot of the professional athletes are coming. I mean, like, you've seen like Simone Biles and Phelps and all. They're seeing some celebrities who seem to have it all, who also admit struggles. But sometimes it's nice to have the kid that sits behind me in chemistry. You struggle? For sure. And there's no judgment because we're all struggling. It's just, it's a human. You're human. You have struggles.
It's such a powerful thing. I've always been plagued with vision, and it's a gift and a curse, but do you understand the power of what you're doing? I feel like you do, but
thank you.
When I'm sitting here, and I'll let you speak in a second because I'm just blown away by it, and I know that we've talked before, but thinking about it and in conversation I've got 3 boys, I've got a daughter too, like watching them try to get through life as a teenager, and then all of the things that they're being pushed up against, this group or that group, and the coping mechanisms that come from that, and then how it affects them as a young adult now watching them try to make their way. You're doing is you're empowering kids to not be entitled, to be humble, to foster actual social connection and not run from it. Because that's what they do. They put their hoods up and their ear pods in.
Right. I mean, I tell them, I'm like, dude, whatever you end up doing in your life, the only thing that's going to set you apart from AI is being a human. And so, like, start to practice now. Right. And it's interesting, Terry, like, so the world that I left, is metrics. It's research. It's give me the data. Tell me this works. Give me the data. And so I am working on kind of tracking some certain wellness indices. But to answer your question, I've had an email, a text, a conversation with kids, parents. I mean, and I know it's working. And honestly, there are days where I wake up and I'm like, I can't do it all. I need help. But then I know that I have to keep moving because this one kid said that this has made a difference to him. And we actually just our newsletter, I offered up the kids to do, like, I do a monthly newsletter where I write something, and I asked the kids, it's like, does anybody want to do a student blog? And I had this kid volunteer. It took him a little time. I'm like, time's ticking. I got to get it ready. And it just went out on Monday, and it brought me to tears when I read it in the morning. He's a runner, and just when you're like, enough is enough. I need to hire more people, and then you read this email and you think, okay. I mean, for me, it's thank you, God. Thank you for sending me this today. This is what I need. Yeah. And it made a difference to him. And if after this, I would love for you guys to read it because it's going to blow you away. Yeah. First of all, he's an amazing writer. But second of all, this has provided him an outlet to show vulnerability. Sure. And still be cool and still be fun. And
that's the thing. That's such a big deal. That's the big thing that I think that what's happening. So this is a lot, but I will say this. Old Terry used to be a youth pastor.
Okay.
And what I used to get from parents all the time is, well, you got to tell them that this is bad. You got to tell them that that's bad. You got to tell them that this is bad. And it's all they want. And like, one, don't micromanage me because I'm trying to lead your kids. Two, it's about what's available to them, not what they shouldn't be doing.
That's right.
It's about resources and tools. And are you equipping them?
That's
if I can equip them, that's what I want to do. Yeah. And if I can equip them and give them, that sense of connection so that they can learn who they are, that's the biggest part, right? Yes. Then it opens the door to a whole bunch of other things. In the process of that, you're going to get that vulnerability. You're going to get a relationship built that will last.
That's right.
Forever.
Well, and also we as adults need to walk the walk. Yeah. Right. So how many times you're with, adult friends and you're like, they're on their phone, they're stressing out, they're drinking too much. I always try to hold myself accountable for the teen ambassadors, for example. I'm like, I had a bad day. I'm like, am I going to go drink a bourbon or am I going to go for a run? If I'm going to I got to walk the walk. This is holding me accountable. Sure. And so I think young people, this sounds very cliche, but they watch you. You can say, get off your phone all that you want, but unless you're showing them.
They'll never do what you say. They'll do what you do.
This is the special sauce, everybody. It's like they're watching you.
Right.
Yeah. And the other thing is, too, is I've noticed with my daughter, who's a sophomore now, once your kids turn 18, they're out the door. OTD. They're making their own decisions. So
Don't get me excited.
We can't be on Life 360 or how much time are you spending? Yeah. They are making their own decisions. Mm-hmm. So why don't we start a little earlier so that, when they get out the door and when they're in college or whatever, they don't need you to kind of nag them. Right. They're doing their own thing. Yeah. And it's a positive, healthy way.
That's the hope, right? The hope is they can reach into the toolbox.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think too, I think when we started this, it was like, I'm sorry, I'm talking too much, but
you're the guest.
I didn't want to especially as a traditional physician, I didn't want the messaging to be, oh, you're depressed, go out for a run, or it's the whole idea is that this is a many angles on how we feel well on a regular basis. Right. You might need that pill. My brother has schizophrenia. I'm one of 10 children. He's number 5. He has schizophrenia. He lives the Goldfinch life. He works. He services others. He has purpose. He goes walking. He lives in a halfway house. He goes walking, a social connection. This is for everyone.
Yeah.
And it doesn't substitute, I think a lot of times in the holistic or wellness industry, it's like, oh, don't take that blood pressure pill. Come over here and take this. There's no, this is like very integrated,
Yeah. What you're describing is the same reason why social media doesn't work. Right? Because it's everybody on their platform saying,
yes.
Well, here's what's worked for me.
And it's only what you
exactly
see.
The same thing.
You're exactly right.
It's not the same. It cannot be the same answer. And to me, it's the same situation. Like you've got somebody, you want them, and I'm going to use this as a completely different analogy. So I'm going to lift out of that. Like you're working with somebody who's trying to come off of drug addiction and you're saying, you got to stop doing it. You cannot be a slave to this one thing. Take this pill every day and it'll help you stop being a slave to this one thing. Right. And we're replacing an addiction. We're not, there's no
No.
I've seen it happen with alcoholics and drug addicts who end up crazy addicted to fitness, just lifting a ton of things.
You're exactly right.
And it feels healthy.
Yeah.
It's just really more socially acceptable. We haven't processed anything.
No, you're exactly right. There's no one size fits all. And this might not respond. I mean, a lot of people might not like this. It's too hard. I don't want to because I found like I'll have all of our meetings are in person. And all of our teenagers are overscheduled. Right. Yeah, and so I'm like, we're going to do this thing at the Frist Art Museum and it's going to be on Thursday. And I get mad because the capacity was 35, but we only had 12. And because this is hard. This is hard to make that commitment to leave your, the door or leave your house and say, this matters to me. And, some people might not respond, but I think in the end, every time I do a survey, it's like, this is so much better than I thought it was. When are we going to do this again? I'm like, I told you. So anyway. Yeah.
We have to break, but when we get back from the break, I want to hear more about what you've learned from this journey and how it's changed you. What you're describing is everybody wants to be seen as a whole person. You can't, just like when you were in the medical field and what you experienced there of just like prescribing something or something you said, Terry, earlier made me think like it's just like a single thing. It's like it made me think of my clients. It's like me telling somebody you got to get 10,000 steps in without giving them any tools. Okay, well, you are a mom who also works and there's sports and there, whatever. And you're also supposed to be meal prepping, cleaning your house. How are you going to get 10,000 steps? I can't just tell you that. So like everybody wants to be seen as everything about them.
Yes.
And if everybody could have that person in their life who I personally kind of think of my therapist as you're talking.
Right.
She, I feel like, is that for me in different ways. But if everybody could have that person who can just see the whole picture and then help you actually give you tools. Yeah. And you also said is an experienced, qualified person to do that, not just somebody on social media. So yeah, such good stuff. You're doing amazing work. I'm excited to hear more about it. Let's take a little break real quick.
If you're a wellness or fitness pro looking for a space that truly fits the way you work, check out B2 Wellness Suites. With locations in Brentwood and Mount Juliet, B2 offers private suites, shared offices, and day rentals, all in a calm, welcoming environment designed for our industry. But it's more than just a space, it's a community of like-minded professionals who support, inspire, and grow together. Learn more at b2suites.com.
Hey, welcome back to the NFM Podcast. We are here with Liz. And Liz, I am just blown away listening to you talk about this heart of yours and the passion that you have with Goldfinch Foundation. And I was thinking while you were talking about just how deep this is for people you're impacting and how deep it is for you. Also, after the loss of your son, Owen, how has this journey changed you? How do you feel like, why do you think this was maybe like meant to fit into your story, like Goldfinch? Tell us all about that.
Yeah. Well, everything about the past 18 months has changed me. We talked a little bit about kind of walking the walk. And I think that, although, the target audience are 14 to 29, I think, to be honest, I think the reason I relate pretty well to teenagers is because sometimes I feel like I have like a teenage brain and, before I don't have time for this. I don't want to be told what to do. And, being a female in a male dominated specialty, especially like critical care medicine, I always felt like I couldn't show any, tears. Like if someone saw me crying, after a patient died or something, then they'd be, oh, women don't need to be medicine. Or if they do, they just need to be pediatricians. Like I never wanted to show that side of me. Yeah. And this was never an act. It was just something I feel like sometimes people think that, I have a lot of strength, but at the same time, I think I have been broken. Yeah. And it's just been really, it's been a process and it's been hard. And sometimes I'll give talks. I gave a talk at our church a couple weeks ago, and somebody says something about my strength, and I'm like, do they not see this open, gaping wound on my chest? Like, and I'm not hiding it. I mean, it's here. It really hurts. But so it has changed me. It has definitely reminded me that I am not in control as much as I would love to be. I used to be a person that would plan everything out in advance. Where are you going to go to college? And when are you going to have kids? And I'll come be your nanny and da-da-da. And now I kind of just go back to taking one day at a time and recognizing, that I want to control everything I possibly can, but I also have to have the grace to know when I can't control something and that someone else is in charge. And that's, up in heaven with Owen waiting, watching me going, you got to get up here with me. You've got to do. And I do feel like I've been given, I have been given a task.
Yeah.
And I know I have, and I know that if and when we're still here, that he would literally be on this couch with me going, yeah, Mom, that was so fun when we did this and that. So I feel more than ever, I've always been kind of determined and unflappable. And, but now more than ever, it's just like, this is going to happen. This is going to be amazing. Cause
if I can say this, your strength shows in you when you show up with the wound, when you show up broken and you're still showing up for others.
Yes.
So, I mean, that's evident.
Yeah.
Like, I see that for sure on you. So the fact that this is a thing that you're even doing in the light of the loss of your son is as powerful, and you will not make me cry. Don't do it. It's just,
you better not make me cry.
Yeah. It's just, I think it's a really cool thing. And I think that it's you're definitely being used. You're in this place in this time. And hopefully that there's some sort of revolution started out of this with these kids, because this is very impactful and it could change a generation for sure.
Yeah. And I think people were surprised. And I think the other thing I've learned about grief is we all have to let everybody just walk their own path here. I think when I first started, I had maybe people didn't know me it's funny, like a lot of my Nashville friends or kind of responded differently than maybe my med school friends or my high school friends or my family, but go to a therapist, go, stop, you're going too fast, or doing this. And I would talk to some of the schools initially and they'd be like, look, lady, and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to keep on plugging along. And I know I'm on the right path. And every day I'm going to, just be open to the next opportunity. And it was really hard, for people to not have that support.
Yeah.
But
especially at the hardest time of your life.
Yes.
When you had a vision that was meant to be.
But, it's a different pace. Than I wanted everything to happen overnight and to be like, but it's happening. And I just have to remind myself to be patient with that.
If I had a nickel for every time someone said I was moving too fast, I would not be here today. I'm stacking nickels.
Yeah, right, exactly. You can't kind of just know yourself. Like, it's like, I know myself. I know when I need to step away. Like I was telling you with the batching of the emails, like, I really do. And I'm not perfect.
Well, I got a response for you. You just say, I'm moving at the pace of this thing.
That's right.
And someone who might feel like you are going too fast, they might not be the person who would even do this.
100%.
So yes, the fact that you are the kind of person who would do this, you know, like you said, you know yourself and know the pace that you can go at.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Are your other kids involved with this?
Yes.
So, how many kids do you have? You named a few.
3 total. So Izzy and Owen were twins, and she is 19, almost 20, and Charlie. He'll probably kill me for mentioning his name. Sorry, Charlie. But so when I started this, I had a conversation with him. I said, look, this does not have to be you. I will still be your mom. I'm still going to be, totally unrelated to Goldfinch. If you want to do this, you can. And if you don't, you don't have to. But what we saw was that all of his friends wanted a part of it. They all wanted in. And slowly but surely, he became more enthusiastic or kind of understood all of this. And, now he's the co-president, back-to-back co-president, 2 elections in. And so he's been, and he and his friends, quite honestly, the junior class at MBA, and we have other juniors at Harpeth Hall and various different high schools. They've been so supportive, I think, of him that it's almost brought him into this space. And it's not been his mommy, it's been his friends, and they've been amazing. So I try very hard to say, like we're going on college tours next week. I'm like, checking out a Goldfinch, all eyes on you, and, just being very careful with that. And Izzy, being at school, she intermittently will look at, things that I write. She's a pretty good writer, and she'll be like, "Oh, edit this, Mom," or do that. And
That's cool.
she's focusing on going to med school. So, they're very supportive. And of course, my husband, I would be neglected to not mention him. It's just brought us closer together.
Yeah.
And I think that sometimes, you hear about people who lose a child and, the divorce rate up, and we're nothing but stronger, and he gets me and understands what I'm going through. And, it's all been it's been great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm lucky for that.
How many schools are you working with?
So right now,
or maybe talked to?
So we have 33 teen ambassadors, and those are representative of 6 schools. 3 of the strongest, we have 3 schools that have the most ambassadors. Like, we had 92 kids sign up for a club fair at MBA and 97 at Innsworth. Subsequently, since I've tried to speak to different groups and things, we've had other kids from other high schools kind of reach out, and they're like, "Well, I want to be a teen ambassador." And so I'm speaking at BGA next week at their wellness week, and trying to kind of say everybody's invited. You don't have to have a club at your high school to come up to our events, but it's been so cool to see people really wanting to lead this movement, because it's not just Liz Willers leading this movement. It's the teens. They're going out, they're giving the talks. Right. We're doing hybrid talks. You give your thing and I'll talk about my thing. And it's, again, I think at this point it's been about 6, but I think we're looking to grow. And then the idea is that once we get our curriculum kind of modeled in Nashville, I don't even want to use the word franchise and nonprofit because that sounds kind of dirty, but I would like to bring this to other communities across the country, because I think it's, you could put in a zip code. You're in Denver, Colorado. This is, this is what we do here. This is our parks, and this is our system. And, so it could be across the country eventually. And that's what I'd like.
Yeah, that'd be amazing. I mean, I'm thinking about schools and how they have one counselor per grade. Yes. And my sister's a school counselor, high school. And
in Nashville?
Dixon.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to Dixon tomorrow.
Really?
At the Rotary Club, I'm speaking.
Oh, so that's where I'm from.
That's really, that's so funny. So I think, initially it was public school, private school, and who needs the resources? Because you're sometimes you'll say, we want to do the GFF club. They're like, we're doing just fine here. And you're look, come on, we're just all trying to get these kids, to a healthy spot.
Yeah. But I was a teacher for 4 years in first grade. And
really? Yes.
I mean, and like I said, my sister is a counselor in high school, and
they're overwhelmed with so many things to do.
The counselors, they do their best.
Yes.
And I know they care about the kids, but they have so many other tasks
they
have to get done.
That's exactly right.
And if every kid could have someone with Goldfinch doing that whole encompassing life coaching almost, that's just...
Exactly.
It's so needed. I don't know how it could happen, but you probably know how it could happen.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, it sounds like
open to suggestions for sure.
It sounds like you're going down the right path. If you're talking curriculum, this almost feels like it could be a subject taught in school or an elective.
Yep.
Because it's where we're at. I mean, we talk about mental health a ton. And I'm glad that it's getting the attention that it's getting, but we wouldn't have the attention to it if it weren't for COVID.
Right.
So if you think about that,
for sure.
Hey, we'll lock you up with your device for a little while and see how you do.
Yeah, exactly.
And not all of us came out all right.
Right.
After that.
No, for sure. And I think too, if you look at some of the Young's personality types that they've described for marketing. So basically everything I learned in med school about personality types from Carl Jung got flipped, and all of this because you're familiar with marketing and branding. But so we are choosing the hero archetype. So a lot of the mental health organizations focus on the caregiver archetype, which is totally fine. It's good for a lot of people, but that didn't fit well with me. That's me wearing a really tight polyester suit. I'm like, I don't like this. I want to do the hero archetype, the empowerment, the daring, the inspiring, and so that's what resonates with me. So I can kind of maintain my passion and commitment. And I think that's resonating with a different group of people that might not normally respond to the word mental, whatever that is, and now they're like, well, this is we can talk about this.
Yeah.
So I think that's also what sets us a little bit apart. And I'm just trying to figure out ways to grow and get this message reproducible. And like I said, I think it's kind of one size fits all. It will spill over into, 30s and 40s and 50s and,
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So
everyone needs it. Where did the name Goldfinch come from? We didn't notice that, right?
Yeah, we haven't.
Okay.
No, I was waiting for you.
How did we get this far without?
I love birds. I think birds are awesome. I didn't know a ton. I was like an amateur ornithologist. So when I was in undergrad, the only non-pre-med class I took was avian biology. And I loved it. I remember having like this pot, like the you're younger than me too. It's like, remember the
Walkman?
The Walkman, and having like these little bird chirps, and I'd have to be like, okay, that's a Carolina wren, or this is like a chickadee. And so I've always kind of loved them. So we have like 2 feeders adjacent to our main kind of bay window where we eat dinner and kitchen, whatever. And if you're a birder, which sounds like 3 of us or 4 of us in this room, I'm the only one. So you have like these neighborhood birds.
How dare you?
You have these neighborhood birds. You're like, okay, those are the house finches. They're so cute. And the blue jay is kind of a bully. And he's like, so I know who comes to my feeder, right? So 2 days after Owen died, the 4 of us, kind of around this round table, noticeably seeing an empty chair, we're like, what are we going to do? I don't know. And then my husband, who is not a birder but has like the best eyes for catching things, was like, Liz, look at that goldfinch. And it was a goldfinch at the feeder. And the goldfinch is a very striking, beautiful, bright yellow bird. And he was there, and then he just kind of flew off. And I'm like, he's like, that's a sign. So of course I'm like, what does goldfinch mean? And so I'm Googling on the internet, all the knowledge there. Oh, yeah. And what I found was that a goldfinch brings the symbolism of hope and a reminder to stay positive in times of stress. And I later learned that even it started in the pagan years before Christianity, but Christianity adopted this, is that birds are felt to be the souls of the recently departed. And what happened, and this sounds fruity, like I literally would roll my eyes if I heard the story and didn't experience it myself. I'm like, yeah, whatever. But I started to see the goldfinch, not at the feeder much, but like after a big talk at my presentation, or, I'd come home and I'd sit in my library and I'd look in the garden. The goldfinch was there. What's going on? And then, so it was obvious because I wanted to have a title that didn't turn people away. Wasn't like Mental Health Matters, which is a great organization. It is. Yeah. But I wanted somebody who would never think to think about their mental health, say, well, what is this Goldfinch Foundation? Yeah. And it was so Owen. Owen was the brightest soul. I mean, he would walk in here and you would almost like feel the warmth in the room. And it was just like a natural, like, of course it has to be Goldfinch. And so, that's what it started. And it's,
I have chills.
Yeah, it's pretty
That's
awesome.
Very cool. Wow.
Constantly like clicking out there. I had to convince myself not to like plant a bunch of black-eyed Susans, which they love, and cone flowers. I was like, I want this to be natural. I don't want this to be like, overdoing it. So I want to be able to be aware when I do see one. I'm like, okay. And not kind of, I don't know, orchestrated.
Yeah, I love that so much.
You mentioned before we pressed record that you guys are working on an event you have coming up, and I want to just give you an opportunity to plug that. It sounds very, very interesting. Can you tell us more?
Yes. So the calendar year, I wanted to have 3 big anchor events where we would invite the whole community out. And one is an art and music event that we had last year that was a big success called Illumination. The light. And then another will be a youth mental health summit this year. But the one I wanted to mention today was, it's called Into the Light, the Sunrise 5K. So right across, we're at Percy Warner Park. If you guys have ever hiked or run over there, at the grandstand where Steeplechase is, facing east is one of the most beautiful, majestic skies you can imagine. And so, we are going to have a non-competitive 5K. So you can walk, you can hike, you can run, you bring a dog, on March 1st. And it will start at dark. So, and we will go through a well-lit path. And at the end of the race will be a beautiful sunrise, and we'll have music. And I'm really excited about it. I think it's going to be amazing. And we're going to have, luminaries and things, and got approval from the park. And so just kind of looking for people to come, because who wants to really wake up that early to go in the dark with a headlamp. So
But
I've been
everybody
doing.
wants to see a sunrise.
Yeah, every
if you
time.
have a
Oh, it's
reason.
so worth
Yeah,
it.
you're
So
giving them a reason. Yeah, it's
as
exactly
soon
right.
as I got the date, I was like, I'm gonna have to like put my money where my mouth is. So I walk once a week. I go
gotta be
over
there.
there and I go for the run.
Aw.
And I'll be honest, like sometimes I'm like, I don't want to go. Why did I say I was going to go? And then when I get out there and I see the sunrise, I'm
Aw.
like, well, thank you. I'm so glad I got
Yeah.
you know what, out of bed. And so
Mhm.
that's going to be something amazing. And the whole idea is it's darkness into light. So whatever darkness you could have been in the past or are in now, there is light and you're walking on this pavement with your community and it's going to be awesome. And so
Wow.
I'm really excited about it and would love to get the word out about it.
Yeah.
That is powerful.
Yeah,
okay, what
thank you.
date is that? Because
March
I want to
1st.
come.
So I almost thought about calling it March into the Light, but I thought that was kind of cheesy. So I'm going into the light. We're going into the light, and
Yeah.
it's March 1st.
I like
cool.
it.
I'd
I
love
like what
for you
did.
guys to be there. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then any other ways that our listeners can get involved besides that event?
Yeah. So we have my website is awesome,
Okay.
and you can sign up for a newsletter. We send like 1 or 2 a month. We're actually doing a pickleball tournament this weekend, but I think we've got all the
Ooh.
registration up.
Oh, nice.
But follow us on Instagram, the GFF24. So 24 is the year we lost Owen and the year we started. And a lot of our teen ambassadors kind of take over and share their ideas and thoughts. And yeah, I guess that's it.
Okay.
And just
What's the name of the website?
thegff.org.
GFF.org.
Yeah.
Okay. And are you on Instagram or any socials?
Yes.
Okay.
Instagram.
Of course.
Yeah.
And
the
there's Facebook. I
GFF24.
forgot
And
about
then
Facebook.
Facebook I've fallen into because I feel like that's where the elderly like myself
People are on Facebook. They really
Yeah.
are.
Easy. Shots
Very
fired.
active.
Shots fired.
Yeah, I'm kind of spilling over to Facebook. I'm trying to get up to LinkedIn. I mean, I literally need a social media manager if anybody, wants to help me out. But yeah, so that's where to find me. And again, just thank you so much for having me. It's been
Yeah.
Absolutely.
really a pleasure to be here. And
Well, it's been
So
a
much
joy
joy.
having
Thanks.
you.
Yeah,
Thank you for coming.
The
Thanks.
trick is to not continue the subject matter for the next 2 hours. 'Cause
Yeah.
it definitely could be. It's
Yeah.
what you're doing, the work that you're doing is truly the Lord's work, and I think
Mhm.
thank you.
Amen.
I think that people are going to watch this and latch onto it. That's my hope.
Thank
So
you.
Yeah.
we really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this very powerful episode that we had today. If you found this episode at all helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with a friend on behalf of NFM and spread the positive. We're so thankful that you guys are listening and doing this with us. We can't wait to see you next week.